Hello. Blue economy. Today we will start how it is related to environmental sustainability or the sustainable development goals. Hello.
Hi, good evening, sir.
तो आपने कुछ प्रैक्टिस किया कि नहीं?
नहीं सर, अभी तो नहीं किया, अगले हफ्ते
ठीक है।
करूँगा।
ठीक है, तो स्टैटिस्टिक में थोड़ा ब्रेक देते हैं। आज ब्लू इकोनॉमी का थोड़ा सा पढ़ लेते हैं, क्योंकि स्टैटिस्टिक में सेंट्रल
ठीक है
मेजर
सर।
ऑफ सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी का मीन मीडियन मोड हो गया था, फिर मीन डेविएशन एंड स्टैंडर्ड डिवीजन दोनों हो गया था। तो अभी मैं भी क्लास में भी उनको इतना ही पढ़ाया हुआ है, और नेक्स्ट आते हैं डिस्पर्सन और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशंस में, नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशंस और तो सारे थोड़ा सा ब्रेक लेते हैं। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ दिस ब्लू इकोनॉमी यूनिट 3 लास्ट पार्ट, दैट इज स्क्रीन तो दिख रहा है ना? रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन
हाँ सर।
हाँ, रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन ब्लू इकोनॉमी एंड सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, ये थोड़ा सा जानते हैं। और बाकी सारे जो भी है थोड़ा सा कवर हो गया है, और ज़्यादा कुछ है नहीं उसमें। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ अगेन दिस ब्लू इकोनॉमी। सो इस क्लास में और भी दो क्लास लगेंगे इसको ख़त्म करने के लिए। सो व्हाई इट इज़ इम्पोर्टेंट, देन व्हाट डज द अपॉर्चुनिटी and the technical demonstrations, environmental concerns, what is growth, what is the different threads, then why so many countries and World Bank is giving so much importance to this blue economy, or indirectly we may directly call as a ocean economy, or ocean, why ocean or marine is so much important for the environment, not only environment, the people and the economy and the society, both three are the most depends on the ocean economy, or ocean, or mainly called blue economy. So economic sustainability, social sustainability and environmental sustainability, if these three concerns are not get balanced, then there may be a different things are there. So it should be must have balance, because economy, most of the people who resides in the coastal area are depends on the ocean for their livelihoods. So economy is also depend. And for transportation sector, we know transportation sector, lot of the majority transport sector can be governed on the ocean ways. So that is also, economy is highly dependent on the oceans. And social life is also mostly depend, because some of the countries, they are fully dependent on ocean, so they are according to the society also develop. And last not least, that is environmental stability also very much required, because we pollute, or we are on control, can we are uncontrollably adjust the ocean resources, so that may be leads to hazardous threats to the environment, as well as the ultimately affect the total populations of the depending country or the whole world. So all the things are we already discussed some of the factors. So today mainly we relate this thing to sustainable development goal. So before that, we just know what is sustainable development goal? Before that, again it is say that blue economy is a sustainable use of ocean resources. This is the definitions given by World Bank or this Professor Pauli, that is some scientist. So the blue economy is a sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, improved livelihoods and jobs while preserving the health of marine and coastal ecosystem. That means balance way. We have to use the resources in a sustainable way, not to adjust or not to use uncontrolled way, so that the health of ocean health, the marine health, as well as our economic health, social health, all things are get balanced. So that's why we should know how to use these things in a sustainable way. So the word sustainable, that is very much play important role for this blue economy, and not only blue economy, everywhere. So sustainability. So this sustainability is the main things. So what is sustainable or sustainability? That depends on the uh, the meaning is that using the resources in a controlled way that does not affect our economy in a present way, as well as it can be utilized or it can be take care of our future generations. That is called the sustainability or sustainable development, or the word sustainable. So the sustainable use of resources that can be controlled by these different factors. So let's see what are these things. Blue economy stimulates the economic growth of sustainable utilization of ocean resources or technical inputs, livelihoods of the growing demands of the job without hampering the ocean health. Already told that. Blue economy supports security, manage, protect ocean environment, creates new jobs and diversification of new resources of energy, drugs, chemical, food, minerals, human welfare. Everything that can be related to ocean for our society, that everything can be studied and managed in a sustainable way. That is the main goal of the sustainable blue economy. So blue economy builds resilience of climate change. See, this climate change, not only those land resources that is depend mostly for the climate change, because ocean health will also depend on the climate change. Mostly we saying industrialization, deforestation, all the things are rapidly increasing the carbon dioxide, and it is mostly responsible for this climate change. But not is that blue economy or these marine ecosystems are also, or oceans also, directly indirectly related to this climate change. So let's see what are these things. Blue economy concept, just remind that we have the blue economy concept lies on ocean and development spaces, incorporates new technology such as oil, gas, tourism, shipping, marine fishing, marine aquaculture. We already discussed all the things. Then blue economy is the ocean economy. Obviously, blue economy, blue related to the ocean. So it aims the importance of the human well-being, society, equity, which reduces environmental risks and ecological disasters. So we have seen lots of environmental disasters occurs in oceans and the coastal area. So that is also aim to reduce. How to reduce that disaster? That is also aim of this blue economy. Not only utilize the resources, we have to restore the, or how to get rid of this disaster. Blue economy simply defined as the economic activity of the oceans, which is seas and coastal areas. Blue growth in comprises that is novel technology and high growth job potential such as wave, tidal, offshore and wind. Here there is one new thing can be seen, that creating new technology or this novel technology which can generate not only this economy but also generate a sustainable energy resources from this ocean. For example, wave energy, tidal energy, seashore energy, wind energy, that can be generated. So the large numbers of windmills are installed in the oceans. Large number of tidal wave theory or different machines are installed to generate energy, which is a called the sustainable energy, or that energy cannot be finished. That means it's a perpetual energy. That means it's a renewable energy that cannot be exhausted. So that is also our aim to uh, a step towards sustainable development. So these are let's come to what are sustainable development. So United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. These Sustainable Development Goals are SDG. It is given by the United Nations, UN, United Nations Organization, UNO, and this also called as 2030 Agenda. That means we are making 17 SDG or 17 promises that we should follow and we must have achieved in 2030. That's our goal. That is called as UN 17 SDG and also called as 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development, which is given or which is formulated by total 193 members. We are the United Nations members all over the world. 193 countries are the members and they agree these things, and in 25th September 2015 they formulate this 17 SDG or 2030 agenda, and all the country simultaneously go for that. So what are these things? In 2015 to 2030 means 15 years. In 15 years we have to achieve all the things. It is the oath is taken by this all countries by mixing together. So uh, actually this goal are not achievable in 2030, but we are trying to our best that this goal must be achieved. So there are three pillars of SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals, which must be focused. That is economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental instability. So these are the three pillars. That means by the considering the society, economic, and these environmental factors, these three are the main factors through which we can be formulate or the UN formulate the 17 goals. So what are the 17 goals? Let's see here. First goal, that is goal number one, that is called no poverty. Goal number two, that is what is that? It is okay. It is not clearly visible. So goal number three is wealth and the visions. Goal number four is quality education. Goal number five is clean equity. Then clean water sanitation. Goal number seven is the clean environment, clean energy, in prosperity. So there are 17 goals are there, like life in water, life in land, peace and prosperity, and patience to achieve all the goals. So there are 17 goals. So in order to achieve these 17 goals, we have to focus in these three things: economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental stability. So among these three things, the blue economy, which is mainly focused the ocean related activities, or the mostly ocean is consisting of the water related activity. So what are the oceanic value? Why ocean is so much important? Because it regulates weather and climates. The water cycle, which is the most important things, and the maximum water cycle that takes place in the ocean. So this water cycle, uh, absorption of CO2, because ocean is the largest sink of carbon dioxide which can be emitted by the industry and the humans activity. They can be sink. The sink is the main is the ocean. So this regulates somehow this our climate, different goods and services, fisheries, mineral oil explorations, recreation activities, in tourism activity are there. There is scuba diving, water sports. So due to this generates economy to the country. Then second is the ecological value, because lots of biodiversity are seen in the ocean and mostly in the shallow region and the bottom of the ocean. So which is also having highly ecological value, and the life originates from water. So that's why the forms of life which is mostly very high in water as compared to the different land sites, because life originates from water. So the biodiversity is more in water or in ocean as compared to the land or the terrestrial area. So 80% of the planet biodiversity is in the ocean, and rest 20% is in the present in the land. So ecological value is very much important there because it is having highly biodiverse field in the ocean as compared to the land. So blue economy, that is economy of the futures, that because we know all the economical things are dependent on the oceans. So sustainable blue economy sectors, already repeated these things: aquaculture, fisheries, tourism. Here just include all these things and the word sustainable, because sustainable development or for sustainable blue economy we are going to impact all the things with a sustainable way. Tourism means sustainable tourism, fisheries, aquaculture, that means sustainability is also there to us, climate regulations, smart shipping procedures, and all different things are. The first thing is harvesting renewable energy. I already told that the renewable energy also harvest in the oceans. So different things are actively carried out in ocean sectors. So the ocean economy is the seventh largest economy in the world GDP. So see the how the ocean economy is control the whole world economy. That's why this World Bank have a great interest towards this blue economy. So is that the World Bank has already invested 3.67 billion in blue economy program. That's why by keeping the importance of this ocean, the World Bank or the peoples who are going to know what is the importance of the oceans, it is going to invest so much amount of money in the blue ocean program, a blue economy program. So this is the just one data, that is ocean assets are value 24 trillion, projected growth are this much. We do not go in details because it is not required. Okay, then what are the challenges to the ocean economy or blue economy? So what are the challenges? 40% of the global population live along the coast because large coastal area, and the coastal area are directly indirectly affected by this ocean. 2.8 billion people live within the 100 kilometers of the coast. So the people whose livelihoods or the things are dependent on the ocean. Over exploitation of resources. This is also a threat or challenges because due to increase the population or increase of the demand of the economy, some over exploitation can be take place. Increase anthropogenic disturbances due to highly increased population. We are we are going to make disturb the biodiversity and biological form in the oceans. So the disturbance or anthropogenic the disturbance made by the human is more. So this is also a challenges or threat to the blue economy. Next is destruction of critical habitats, that is coral reef, mangroves, species extinction, migration, biodiversity loss. These are the very much great threat to the environment, particularly for the oceanic environment, because you already know the coral reef, mangroves, what is the importance of these things. So nowadays the coral reefs are destroyed, mangroves are also destroyed, such a species going to extinct due to the anthropogenic activity and over explorations and over exploration of this coastal area mainly. Then conflicts, resources, value and cultures, these also somehow destroy due to the various conflicts or war among these different countries and different tribes, different groups of people. Then climate change. These are increasing temperature, oceanic acidification, sea level rise. Due to this also, the somewhere the sea level going to be rise. Coastal erosion of coastal area that may take place. Climate change, that increasing in temperature, glaciers are melting, and these are also going to severely affect the coastal area particularly. So this is also a threats or challenges to the blue economy. So if these threats are the challenges, we are the humans, so we have to going to face and going to remediate all these things. Increase in extreme events, heavy rainfall, cyclones, these are also extreme events nowadays. See, these are going to be increased day by day due to the different climate change activity. So that also effect. If the cyclones occur more in the sea, then that going to hamper the coastal area particularly. We have seen in that near Mumbai and in Odisha coastal area, Odisha, Bengal, lots of cyclones are coming every year in irregular time. So lot of peoples and the economy are disturbed disturb. And COVID-19 and pandemic. This is also one factors that directly indirectly challenge to the blue economy. Coastal erosion, I already said the coastal erosion is the factor. Sand mining, this is also anthropogenic activity. Sand mining and seabed mining by this individual or people. Exploration of this coastal area takes place. So these are the different challenges. So we have to face all these challenges, and if this challenges is continues, then the sustainable word does not mean it. So in order to going for a sustainable use of blue economy, we have to protect this ocean diversity, ecosystem, sustainability, all the things in the this by knowing all these aspect of challenges of this economy. Coastal system benefits. So this is also one slide. We can differently see what are the benefits of the coastal systems. The coastal state, coastal territories, they are having some large number in India. For India, see the large number of 43,000 to 30 kilometers of coastal wetlands are there. Coastal mangroves area are so they are because this particularly in Odisha and West Bengal area, and this east side, this Gujarat, particularly Gulf of Gujarat, Gulf of Combat and this Gulf of Kutch, these things are well fully diverse in these things. So lots of mangroves and coral area, reefs, and this coastal area are affected. So this and the so many benefits of the also there. So let's see what are the things. So challenges in India. So marine Indian marine system, that is 7,517 kilometer length of coastal line throughout the India. So population, India population 13.36 population lives in the coastal area. Total 30 coastal states in United States are related to the coastal area. Second largest producer of fish, 3.5 megaton of fishery production in 2019. So value of 65 crores of rupees that can be earned by this sea coastal marine or fisheries. Sustainable provides source of livelihood of 250 million people, one of the fastest growing economy of the world. So the country which does not have coastal area, they are economically weak as compared to the country which are having coastal area. So coastal having coastal area, so large numbers of benefits are there. So the point of SDG, that is point now SDG number 14, that supports lives below water. So this water and the biodiversity, the life which is going to be uh, challenges or threats. So in order to remove or in order to tackle all these three challenges, we are working to the words to for the word sustainable or sustainable development goals. Large numbers of actions can be taken combinedly by World Bank as well as the local countries, and to restore all this blue economical health or ocean health. So issues and problems, then obviously we have to find opportunity, and there are also challenges are there. So blue economy offer a suite of opportunity for the sustainable, clean, equitable growth of both traditional and emerging sectors. So both way we are going to work. So potential industrial opportunities are also there in established estuaries, sea capture fisheries, shipping ports, shipbuildings, offshore gas, marine constructions, marine coastal tourism, marine transport, marine business services, marine R&D, and all the things marine trading. These are the different industries related to the coastal area and the estuaries. Industries area. Then emerging industries are marine aquaculture, offshore energy harvesting, marine renewable energy, marine seabed mining, safety and surveillance, marine biotechnology, high-tech marine services. These are also different new emerging industry are going to develop, and all the things are already, some are already developed industries. So all the things can be a better opportunity for the country who is having large coastal area like India. So see the fisheries, aquaculture, different economy are there. Then a marine cruise tourism, marine biotechnology, sea preparing center, teaching and education center, R&D center, sector. All the things are dependent on the oceans. So in our India, we have a union territory that is called uh, Andaman Nicobar Islands. So these Andaman Nicobar Islands and these Lakshadweeps, they are fully depends on this coastal area or the tourism sectors or R&D sectors are also they are establishing in there to research to the oceans and all the things. So these are developed things that are fully depends on the blue economy. So what are the emerging sectors that revise against? That is tourism sector, that is beach tourism, ship and cruise ships tourism, blue flag acceleration, then fisheries, recreational fisheries, commercial, marine aquaculture, all the things. Then conservation, environmental protection, that also good services, amenities values. Then this marine sorry, this based on ecosystem services and this MPA, that is marine protected area. Some area of the coastings they are protected due to their highly biodiversity is nature. So these are restricted sites on marine or in oceanic some sites because due to the highly biodiversity field are there. So all these things are the emerging sectors related to the oceanic blue economy. Then marine transport, the ports are there, lots of ports for transporting shipping, all the things, harbors, facilities are going to build. Offshore petroleum, crude oil, natural gas, etc. They can be extracted from this marine, degrading
What is
extraction, sand mining,
blue flag
degrading.
accreditation?
Hmm?
What is blue flag accreditation?
Blue flag excavation, these are the particular area where it is safe for scuba diving and different underground water activities. So that area are particularly keeping blue flag means economical zone and safe zone where this type of activity can be done. These activities cannot be done in every coastal area, and particular some tourism sector like Andaman Nicobar and some like Chadis, they have a certain area for this type of activity for particularly tourism. So these are called as blue flag accreditations. They are certified area where you can do this type of activity safely for tourism activity on particularly.
Okay.
Opportunity of blue economy with changing climate and environment. So everywhere, uh, wherever there is a opportunity, there is a dark side for their challenges and threats of there. So these are the different opportunity sectors that is, and some things like mostly water, food, and energy. These three things are the primary resources where we directly get benefited from the oceans. For water, we cannot use water the ocean or oceanic water directly, so there should be some technology that can convert this saline water to potable water, that then we can use the water or the oceanic water directly. So some countries like Dubai or Saudi Arabia and this Gulf country, they do not have any options for getting the potable water, so they are converting the sea water into potable water through this technology called desalination technology, and they are using the water. So water is the main resources of this ocean because ocean is formed by water. Then second is food. So fisheries and aquaculture or this seafood, most of the population who are depend on this. So food is the second direct energy, direct resources that can be get from the sea. Third is energy. Obviously, a large number of renewable energy resources we can get like wave energy, tidal energy. The energy is freely available, but using our technology, we are going to harness this system. So this water, food, and energy are the three primary sources of energy directly benefited from these blue economy sectors. Next, secondary energy or secondary resources includes mineral resources, transportation resources, waste disposal facilities, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी एंड टूरिज्म. खाना पीना और रहना इसको छोड़ के बाकी भी बहुत सारी चीजें हो सकता है, और दैट इज आर कॉल्ड सेकेंडरी रिसोर्सेज. So ट्रांसपोर्ट सेक्टर जैसे शिपिंग हो गया, टूरिज्म सेक्टर हो गया, डीप सी माइनिंग, excavation of some minerals and the oils, critical habitat ecosystems. So some coral reef sectors are there. These are the different indirect resources of energy. Again, waste disposal facilities. We are all disposed our waste into drainage. Then we going to mix with the river, and at last the river is mixed with the sea. So ocean is the large and more greater sink of the total waste of the whole population of in total world. So ocean is the main waste disposal facility of all the things. So uh, this also uses as a resources, because we do not think throw the dispose the things in the oceans, then where we can be throw it, or the waste disposal facility, that also be a great challenges. But this is at using uncontrolled way, that also is very much dangerous for the total coastal area people, all the things. Then next is pollution, green technology, STP restoration, etc., that can be also taken care. Obviously then climate change, that is the major challenges, the coastal hazard due to the sea level rising, tsunami, all the things that are also the challenges. So everywhere if there is opportunity, there must be challenges. So we have to use the opportunity to tackle the challenges. So this is the main theme, how to blue economy can be sustainable. That's why sustainable concern of blue economy are mainly focuses. Not only utilizes the resources on conditional way, but also restore its oceanic health in the three way: socially, economically, and environmentally. So water, because water is the main resources or main primary resources of the ocean. So or water is also life. So WHO, who is the main guidance keeping guidance agency, who is the main guidance agency for every people, every mankind. So what are the parameters, or what are the standards of the pollution, what are the drinking water standards, all the things that can be given by the WHO. So one the every 6 person in the developing country lack access to clean drinking water. Is the statement given by WHO, because every people are not getting clean water and sanitation facilities. So this is one also great agenda of our SDG, that every people should not be die or should not be get any clean drinking water. That is not it. Means every people should get at least clean drinking water and clean sanitation facilities. This is the goal, this is our target. Whether the country is developed or underdeveloped or any countries, the people living in the country, the person or the every population, they have to at least get clean water and sanitation. So this target can be achieved not only by those government agencies or the government funding agencies, but also every people of the country, they know what is the utilization, what is the sustainability meanings. So the water related to the blue economy is because the oceans are the primary source of water, directly or indirectly, because we cannot use the water directly, but same water can be used directly through the water cycles, and it can be rain and fall in the land area. So 22 major cities located along the Indian coastline. Water requirements are this much. We can large scale of desalination units are being established by the country. Tamil Nadu, Saurashtra, Kutch, Rajasthan, Iceland face the dipping water shortage water. So here also Vadodara also you can see, if you are having in outside area, most of the water boring deep the bore well. So what happens, they get is saline water. So you cannot directly take the saline water. So in order to convert the saline water into potable water, large numbers of desalination units are installed, and we are just brought this 20 liters of water so can for 20 rupees. So that is the facilities are must have to have technology that convert the water to saline water to potable water. So large number of things are there. So but the water conversion of the saline water to potable water is not centralized. or rather than this Gulf country, because they have do not have any options. So they are going to centralize and making large industry to convert this water to saline water. So the sustainable development goals, that is agenda 30 2030 or vision 2030, ensure access to water and sanitation. I already discussed, because every person in the world at least get clean water to drink and sanitation facility. इधर उधर जाके वो कचरा ना फैलाए, उसको भी ध्यान रखना चाहिए. So all these things are related to water and indirectly related to these oceans. So we have to take care of all these things. Desalination methods and sectors, desalination, membrane, hybrid systems, LTD technology. So there are large number of desalination methods are there. Desalination direct, if you heat the seawater, then salt is separated and the water vapor are separated. That is desalination technology is there. So in order to get this desalination, large amount of heat is required. So this method is not a cost effective method, because we are using lots of energy to heat the water and separate the salt from the water. So that technology is not much used, because this is a highly energy required method. So the cost of production of water is potable water is very high. That is not affordable uh, for this mostly this developing country and poor countries. उनको तो पीने खाने के लिए पैसे नहीं है, तो इतने सारे एनर्जी कहाँ से लाएंगे और वो लोग जाएंगे पोर्टेबल वाटर में. तो उसका दूसरा सॉल्यूशन है मेम्ब्रेन फिल्टर्ड वाटर. जैसे कि अभी हमारा यहाँ पे गुजरात में चल रहा है, जो हम लोग सेलाइन वाटर को डिसलाइन कैसे कर रहे हैं. बस कुछ नहीं, बस आरओ लगा देना है. तो आरओ, व्हाट इज आरओ? दैट इज रिवर ऑस्मोसिस, दैट इज मेम्ब्रेन बेस्ड फिल्ट्रेशन टेक्निक. तो दैट इज ऑल्सो चीप, अच्छा है उसमें से. देन हाइब्रिड सिस्टम्स, दोनों को मिलाना भी है, वो भी हाइब्रिड हो गया. एलटीडी टेक्नोलॉजी, दो एलटीडी टेक्नोलॉजी, टेम्परेचर डिफरेंस और यूटिलाइजेशन प्रोड्यूस पोर्टेबल वाटर, दैट इज innovation technology or new temperature, low temperature thermal desalination. So all these things are going to be implement in order to achieve this sustainable development goal number 6, that is ensure to water sanitation for all. That is goal number 6. So desalination, it is explained here how this low temperature thermal desalination for the remote islands are taking place, because these LTD principles or this is innovation technology. This does not require much amount of this energy, as well as it can be convert this water into potable water. The most required things for the all peoples, because we are do not get clean water properly. For to getting every person's getting clean water and a facility, so the desalination principle must be a very cheap method, and we are able to convert this water, because ocean is a source of the water, but we cannot use the ocean water directly. So indigenic technology for drinking water. There are the 3 operational desalination plants in Agrawati, Agati. The resources for 1 lakh facilities already are established in some remote area. For example, United Territory of Lakshadweep, this desalination plants are already installed. 6 more desalination plants are already can be going to install. So that is the proposed in India, these LTDD sectors. Then establishment of desalination plants in 6 island of Lakshadweep. So do not go details. So this is one another examples, that is a Kalpesar Dike project. So this is uh, related to this Gujarat state, where there is a lots of a huge amount of coastal area can be surrounded to the Gujarat state of India, as well as the whole area does not get potable water. Whenever you dig from the bore well, that also gives some saline water. Due to that, high coastal lines, as the salts are deposited in the underground. So there is much needed this desalination facility to survive all the people, or to supply the potable water to all the people. So in order to get this potable water, this Kalpesar dike projects can be built. So this Saurashtra of Gujarat facing very water severe scarcity. So rainfall is also very much less, as it is situated near to this Rajasthan desert area, so and extremely east area. So due to the less rain water and this saline water, we cannot use it. Is so lot of peoples are facing this water scarcity. So according to this Agenda 2030 or sustainable development, every people have to supply clean water at least. So how you have to achieve all the things? So in order to achieve, there are lots of projects are going on. Among these, Kalpeshwar Dike project is one of these. To overcome this problem or water scarcity, there is a dam built in the Gulf of Cambodge and store the water in inside of this gulf, and that dam project is 30 kilometer arch dam of the spillway, and this is the Narmada diversion canal. The water can be passed to the canal, and renewable energy, lift irrigations. All these three are the components of the projects. Benefits of the projects: meeting the per capita demand of the water, because with the water which can be store and that can be converted to the potable water, so the people can get at least water. Irrigations, lots of area can be get irrigated, the water problem should be solved. Reduces this distance of this Bhavnagar and this Surat, because the dam is constructed, then what happen, the distance cannot move directly, you can pass through that. Land reclamation of 2 lakh hectares, reduction of the water salinity, fisheries, all the things are benefits of this project. So these type of projects are going to be formed for the on the this sustainable development goal 6, under the sustainable development 6 goal 6, and this project is funded by the government of India, government of Gujarat, and this World Bank, because it is comes under blue economic project. So these are different benefits of this project: fresh water, irrigation, transportation, biodiversity, renewable tourism, industrial, and although land few land available. मुझे नहीं पता ये प्रोजेक्ट अभी तक खत्म हो रहा है कि चालू है, काम नहीं है, ये प्रपोज दिस प्रोजेक्ट. Then food, second main resources, primary resources is food. So first is water, second is food, and food is coming by this method: fisheries and aquaculture. Fisheries, and what is the difference between fisheries and aquaculture? Fisheries are directly you have to go and cut the fish from the sea. You will not have to culture that fish. That is called fisheries, direct fishing. Aquaculture means in a particular types of ocean coastal area, you have to find or you have to develop some technology and grow in a control way the fishes, and then you can cut the fishes. That is aquaculture. So all the things are the meet the food sectors or the food demand of the people. But because first if the meet all the demand of water, then second most thing is meet the demand of food. पानी तो ठीक है सबको मिल गया, ये हमारा पहला गोल था. सेकंड गोल, पानी तो पिए, फिर क्या करेंगे, भूख लगेगा, बहुत लोग हैं उनको खाना भी देना पड़ेगा. So the sustainable development goal says no one should be die in hunger. That is, हंगर को भी हम लोग बीट कर सकते हैं. तो कैसे बीट करेंगे? सबको खाना खिला के. तो कैसे खिलाएंगे खाना? इवन वो गरीब है या अमीर है, कोई भी है, भूखा नहीं मरना चाहिए. ये यूनाइटेड नेशन का एक गोल है, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल. पहले तो साफ पानी मिलना चाहिए, दूसरा भूखा नहीं मरना चाहिए. तो फॉर दैट वी हैव टू need much more food, and the food, for this food we depends on land as well as this ocean. ठीक है, हम तो लैंड में डिपेंड करते हैं. एग्रीकल्चर हम लोग जो है धान गेहूं के जो भी है उसको खेती करेंगे, उसके बाद तो उसका बढ़ावा देंगे. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, फॉर दिस कोस्टल एरिया एंड ओशनिक सेक्टर्स आल्सो we also go in these fisheries and aquaculture methods. So food security, poverty alleviation, hunger potential, business opportunity, these are the important role for this ocean for the people. Aquaculture also productions including aquatic plants, that is 2 million tons global aquaculture fishes production. तो ये देखिए जो भी है, चाइना डोमिनेटिंग कर रहा है फिश प्रोडक्शन में, एक्वाकल्चर करने में. इंडिया सेकंड रैंक में है, बिकॉज large amount of coastal area is covered by this Indian territory, India. So that's why we are also growing in this sea to supply the food to the global population. because this is the living resources. So see right side जो लिखा हुआ है, zero hunger, this is the second goal of the SDG. एंड 14 नंबर गोल है लाइफ बिलो वाटर, मतलब जो मछली पानी में जो रहते हैं मछली उनको भी ध्यान रखना है और कोई लोग नहीं मरना है। तो ये दोनों के रिलेट किया हुआ है इसने, लाइफ बिलो वाटर, फिश प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाओ तो कोई भूखा नहीं मरेगा, कम से कम उसको खाना मिलेगा। तो फिश इज ए क्रूशियल एनिमल सोर्स ऑफ प्रोटीन, तो मछली को खा के बहुत लोग रहते हैं, बिकॉज सी फूड्स आर वेरी मच क्रूशियल फॉर द कोस्टल एरिया पॉपुलेशंस पहले से ही। Then 150 gram of fish contains 50 to 60 daily protein requirement. For present fish production, that is inland is 3.4 mega metric ton and marine is 3 mega metric ton. That means ये जो है इनलैंड में थोड़ा ज्यादा है बट मेराइन में थोड़ा कम है, 3.4 लगभग सेम ही आसपास। तो पोटेंशियल फिश प्रोडक्शन इज 8.4 मेट्रिक टन, वेस्ट कोस्ट ईस्ट कोस्ट, तो दिस ईस्ट कोस्ट में कम है, वेस्टल कोस्ट में ज्यादा है, मतलब इधर साइड वाला कोस्ट में ज्यादा है, ईस्ट में कम है, उड़ीसा वेस्ट बंगाल है उस साइड में कम है। So fish production is the second sector which can relate to the zero hunger and live under fish. Aquaculture and this marine protected area employment opportunities are there also. Because the fish production के लिए क्या करेंगे, जो प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया है उस जगह पे एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी होगा और वहाँ पे एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया पे क्या करें एक्वाकल्चर भी बनाएंगे। सो देयर आर लार्ज नंबर ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज which can be directly indirectly related to this blue economies. So there are different opportunities are there, जहाँ पे रेस्टोरेंट्स कैफे खुलेगा, मार्केटिंग होगा, लोग जाएंगे, डाइविंग, वहाँ पे टूरिज्म सेक्टर भी हो सकता है, ये सारी चीजें अपॉर्चुनिटीज, जॉब क्रिएटिंग होगा, न्यू जॉब क्रिएट होगा। उसके बाद बहुत सारी चीजें जो कि इनडायरेक्टली डायरेक्टली डिपेंड ऑन दिस एक्वाकल्चर एंड मेराइन प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया अपॉर्चुनिटीज। देन next term is biotechnology. This, how this biotechnology, particularly this marine biotechnology, how it is related to the sustainable development goal. So marine biotechnology, that means using of biotechnology for the marine resources. Marine जो है उसमें प्लांट है, marine animals हैं, उनको R&D करना है, उनको पढ़ना है अच्छे से बायोटेक्नोलॉजी यूज करके, और हाउ टू इंक्रीज द ग्रोथ ऑफ एक्वाकल्चर जो भी है, उसके बाद प्रोडक्शन ऑफ डिफरेंट ग्रोथ, डिफरेंट मेडिसिन, मेडिसिनल वैल्यूज। तो ये सारी चीज हमको R&D करना है। तो मेराइन प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट बिकॉज ऑफ न्यू मेडिसिन बीइंग डेवलप्ड टू ट्रीट कैंसर, आर्थराइटिस, ह्यूमन बैक्टीरियल इन्फेक्शन, अल्जाइमर डिजीज, हार्ट डिजीज, वायरसेस, अदर डिजीज, ये सारे जो बीमारियां का दवा जो है कहाँ से बनता है, जो मेराइन प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स को बनता है। आपको याद होगा कि नहीं पता नहीं, एक आप हम लोग खाते हैं ना ओमेगा फैटी एसिड्स, वो कभी कभी होता है, ओलिव ऑयल्स, कोई फिश ऑयल होता है उसमें से बनता है। तो ये सारे जो मेडिसिनल वैल्यू हैं और सारी चीजें बनता है ये मेडिसिन एनिमल्स और प्लांट्स ऑफ मेराइन, तो उनको हम लोग पकड़ते हैं और उनसे मेडिसिन बनाते हैं। जैसे कि हॉर्सशू क्रैब मेराइन समुद्र में ही मिलता है और उससे एल्जीमर डिजीज का मेडिसिन बनता है, उसका जो उसका ब्लड रहता है ब्लू कलर का ब्लड रहता है। तो ये सारे चीजें धीरे धीरे क्या हो रहे हैं, अभी कम होते जा रहे हैं। तो इन ऑर्डर टू इंक्रीज दैट वी हैव टू फोकस ऑन बायोटेक्नोलॉजी एंड प्रोडक्शन और एक्वाकल्चर। तो हर सुक्रैप को हम लोग क्या करेंगे, समुद्र में एक रेस्ट्रिक्टेड एरिया बनाएंगे, उसमें उसको कल्चर करेंगे या उसमें उनको उनका एनवायरमेंट में उसको ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रोड्यूस करेंगे। तो दैट इज ऑल्सो बी हेल्प टू इम्प्रूव द मैन काइंड और द इंक्रीज द लाइफ क्वालिटी लाइफ ऑफ द अल्टीमेटली पीपुल। तो उसमें जो है एसडीजी नंबर 8, 9, 14 एंड 15 ये शामिल है। एसडीजी नंबर 9 क्या बोल रहे हैं, डिसेंट वर्क एंड इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, इसमें बायोटेक्नोलॉजी आ गया, सारे कैसे इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर्स उसमें आ गए। देन 9 इंडस्ट्री एंड इनोवेशन एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर्स, इसको लेके जो मेडिसिन इंडस्ट्री हो गया, बाकी बहुत सारी चीजें रिलेटेड हैं यहाँ पे। लाइफ बिलो वाटर, जैसे कि वो लाइफ ऑब्वियसली फिश और जो प्लांट्स एनिमल प्लांट्स उनको भी आ गए। एंड लाइफ ऑन लैंड एंड यूटिलाइजिंग दिस रिसोर्सेस, जो लैंड में जो लाइफ रहता है, मतलब मेनली ह्यूमंस दे आर गेटिंग बेनिफिटेड। So all are interlinked with this marine populations of at least the blue economy. So India being the tropical country empowered with great diversity of marine algal species combined with optical environmental conditions, all these things. ये सारी चीजें इंडिया में बहुत सारे है, क्योंकि इंडिया इज कवर्ड बाय ह्यूज लगभग 7,500 किलोमीटर का कोस्टल एरिया है। तो कोस्टल एरिया है तो उसका बायो टेक्नोलॉजी सेक्टर्स में भी, मेडिसिन ड्रग्स सेक्टर में भी ये इंडिया आगे है एज कम्पेयर टू द अदर कंट्रीज। जैसे कि माइक्रो आल्जी ग्रो कर रहे हैं, उसको टेबलेट बना रहे हैं, फिर उसको उसका ऑयल निकाल रहे हैं, ड्रग बना रहे हैं। These also very much growing sectors in मेराइन बायोटेक्नोलॉजी रिसर्च डेवलपमेंट सेंटर, तो उसको रिसर्च डेवलपमेंट करने के लिए जहाँ पे मेराइन रिसर्च डेवलपमेंट सेंटर खुला हुआ है, डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जैसे नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओशनिक टेक्नोलॉजी NIOT गोवा में है, तो उसमें बहुत सारे R&D होता है, यहाँ पे भी बहुत सारे अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं रिसर्च करने का। एक्वाकल्चर न्यू मेथोडोलॉजीज हेल्पिंग सिलेक्टिंग ब्रीडिंग स्पेसीज, इंक्रीजिंग सस्टेनेबिलिटी, प्रिवेंटिव थेरापेटिक मेजर्स, जीरो वेस्ट रिसाइक्लेशन, ये सारी चीजें वहाँ पे रिसर्च होता है। मेराइन बायोटेक्नोलॉजी रिलेटेड टू डेवलपमेंट ऑफ रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, फॉर एग्जांपल विद द यूज ऑफ माइक्रो मेराइन algae, algae को यूज करके हम लोग कैसे एनर्जी बनाएंगे, बायोफ्यूल हम बना रहे हैं algae को यूज करके, बिकॉज algae इज मोर प्रोडक्शन ऑफ algae द बायोमास टू बायोफ्यूल। लिपिड वहाँ पे क्या है, बायो algae के पास बहुत सारे प्रोटीन्स हैं, सॉरी दिस लिपिड्स जमा होते हैं, ऑयल्स, वी कैन यूज द बायोमास ऑफ द algae टू प्रोड्यूस दिस बायोफ्यूल। तो अल्टीमेटली एनर्जी हम लोग मिलता है। पोटेंशियल यूज नोबेल ड्रग्स, हेल्थ, ऑल दिस पर्सनल केयर, जैसे कि हम लोग ब्यूटी प्रोडक्ट्स है, फेस वॉश वगैरह, वो सारे भी वहाँ से कुछ कुछ इंक्रीमेंट्स आते हैं। एनवायरमेंटल इश्यूज, बायोसेंसिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज, इन सिटू मेराइन मॉनिटरिंग, bioremediations and effect of cost effective non toxic technologies. These are the different high end R&D sectors and these are in growing stage. ये ऐसा नहीं है कि सारे डेवलप हो गया है, जितने जितने हम आगे पढ़ाई करेंगे उसका R&D करते जाएंगे तो उसके ज़्यादा ज़्यादा उसका इफेक्ट बेनिफिट होगा मैन में इन कंपेयर टू दिस ऑल दीज थिंग्स। So India is also leading R&D sector for this biotechnology. देन मेराइटन एजुकेशन ट्रेनिंग सर्कुलेशन इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी, ये सारे भी हो सकता है, इसमें तुम नहीं जाएंगे। इकोसिस्टम बेस्ड अप्रोच, ये जितना भी इकोसिस्टम से, जैसे कि कोस्टल एरिया का, जैसे कि कोस्टल एरिया इकोसिस्टम अलग रहता है। देन इफ यू आर गोइंग टू मैंग्रोव्स एरिया, डेल्टा एरिया, देयर आर डिफरेंट इकोसिस्टम्स एंड दिस इकोसिस्टम्स आर मोस्टली डाइवर्सिफाइड, और ये जो डाइवर्सिटी है उसमें ज़्यादातर स्पेसिस मिलते हैं एंड वी हैव they are having great importance for the environment. So all the things are can be seen in India basically. ठीक है, तो लेट्स स्टॉप हियर। थर्ड एनर्जी होगा एनर्जी रिन्यूएबल सोर्सेस, और थोड़ा सा आगे है, नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम लोग जाते हैं। तो अप टू दिस एंड ब्लू इकोनॉमी का ये है फूड एंड द वाटर, थर्ड इज एनर्जी। ये नेक्स्ट क्लास में फिर हेलो हेलो
So you are not audible.
हाँ, अभी नेटवर्क चला गया था थोड़ा। तो जो प्राइमरी सेक्टर था उसमें से फूड और एनर्जी और जो वाटर का हो गया, फिर नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम लोग फिर आगे उसका कंटिन्यू करते हैं।
Okay, sir. Okay.
हाँ जी,
Okay. Thank you, sir. Bye. Good night.
गुड नाइट।
Good night, sir. Bye.
काय फोन पुन्हा करवा